Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new video. Today I'll be showing the process of making a pochade box. A pochade box is essentially a painting box used for painting on plein air. It is more lightweight and convenient to set up than your typical French easels, but isn't as flimsy as some of the smaller travel easels you can get on the market. The nice thing about it too is that you can store your paintings in different slots so that 1, you don't have to carry your wet paintings in your hands the entire way home, and 2, you can do multiple paintings and they'll stay protected. It can also store your paints and a few extra bits, which is nice as well. Just a quick note, this is not a tutorial, I'm just showing me making the box. I've looked into many different designs and did sort of a mashup of all, which I'll link down below. Anyways, let's get straight into it. Here I have all the pieces I'll be using to build the box. I decided I won't be using the 2 panels in the front later on, and cut the piece in the back left into 2 for the shelf and the back of the box. I'm coating the wood in a shellac-based polyurethane to seal the wood in case it gets wet. I coat them 3 times on each side and let each layer dry, roughly for 4 hours between each coat. If you use this stuff, I highly recommend you use gloves. It is extremely sticky, and to remove it you have to use turpentine. You don't want to get this stuff on your hands. I'm also using a DIY chip brush since it's cheap and I can toss it when I'm finished instead of having to waste turpentine on trying to clean it. You can also use a foam brush. Here I am marking the wood in 1/4 inch increments to add the pieces that will act as shelving or slots for the panels to fit into. In hindsight, I would make the gaps a bit larger because once I primed the panels, they were thicker than 1/4 inch and it made it tough to fit into the slots. I'm using a combination of oak and plywood for this project. Plywood is nice and lightweight, so you won't be adding extra strain when traveling with it. Now I'm cutting the leather pieces for the box. I need 4 straps, 2 loops for the shoulder strap, and 1 loop for the paint thinner container, and also a large piece for the flap which will close the front. I cut out a square to fit the quick release plate since the Tina I will be using is thicker than the wood once I inset it. It was honestly quite silly for me to do so because the leather will be covering the entire bottom panel anyway, so I gave myself unnecessary extra work. The glue I'm using is Gorilla Wood Glue. I read that it was good to use when adhering leather to wood, and it worked quite well. but I will be sewing it later for extra security. For the loops, I'm thinning the leather on either edge, so it won't be as thick when gluing them together. I didn't have the proper tools, so I just used a variety of X-Acto blades, and it did the trick pretty well. I'll also be sewing these pieces, so the glue just helps to keep everything in place. So right here you can see me marking the place to cut out for the quick release plate. But again, it was unnecessary as I could have just used the full piece of leather. Now I'm marking the holes for where I'm going to drill into the leather and the wood. I got this idea from Darbin Orvar, where she explained how sewing the leather to the wood made it extra secure. So I sewed the leather to the bottom piece, as well as on the straps and the loops. I also drilled a hole for the T-nut to fit in, so I can secure it to the quick release plate, which attaches to the tripod. I'm just using regular leather thread and needles to sew through the wood. It was a bit tough to pull the needle through at times, so I used pliers to help. I got an empty cigar box off of Etsy to act as the paint storage. You can get them for really cheap, and they work really well. This one is 2 inches deep, which was perfect for my paint tubes. I attached a strip of wood to the inside to hold up the panels when painting. I also replaced the hinges on the box with torque hinges so I could adjust the angle I'm painting at. I didn't show the process because I learned that technique from James Gurney, who has an expansive tutorial on making a small foldable painting palette using those hinges on his Gumroad, so I'll also link that below. For the shelf, I decided to move it closer to the front of the box instead of keeping it at the back. When the glue was dry, I also added nails into the corners and joints of the box to make it more secure. Afterwards, I filled any holes and gaps with wood filler and smoothed it out. Lastly, I added a ribbon as well to act as an opening to the box, since the box didn't come with any form of hook closure. With that, I attached the straps and the paint thinner container, and I was finished. Here you can see how the bottom of the box just attached to the tripod with the quick release plate, which I screwed into the bottom of the box. I didn't tighten the tripod as much as I should have here, so it's a bit wobbly when I'm demonstrating, but when it's tightened properly, everything is secure and super sturdy. And that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed seeing the process of me making this box. I had a few problems I had to work out along the way, and it's not perfect by far, but I think it works really well. I'll insert some pictures of what it looks like when it's set up in practice, but that's all I have for now. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy seeing this kind of stuff or want to see a video of me painting plein air, leave a like and I'll be sure to make more like this. Again, thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.